How's it going, everybody, and welcome to Anime Anecdotes, my script-free thoughts on all the new popular anime that have been coming out, where we just sit down and we just talk, right? We hang out, we go over things, and I figure what better show to talk about for a very first episode than Chainsaw Man. Chainsaw Man has just dropped within the last 3 hours of the time of recording this, and I was lucky enough to have the free time to be able to watch it as well as make this video, and so I just wanted to talk about it because wow, Chainsaw Man. Oh, I was afraid. I was afraid going into the first episode because there's always that argument, right? That how does a series that has been hyped up that much live to expectations? And I'm a huge Tatsuki Fujimoto fan. I started on Fire Punch years ago. I followed their work, throughout the years, and when Chainsaw Man first came out, I read it chapter by chapter. And I do encourage people at some point, maybe after the anime's over, to read the manga because it's beautiful. It is a spectacularly visually appealing series. It is complex. But the most important thing is, and I don't think people realize this, it's a comedy, and this is something that will deter people as they get further on in the anime, I know, is that it's much more, not necessarily lighthearted, but definitely a more morbid comedy than it is, say, a traditional shonen epic. And I thought the first episode was just phenomenal. It channeled that spirit, it channeled that passion. It gives you Denji as this, guy on the absolute downturn, trying to pay off his dad's debts to the Yakuza, just doing anything he can to make ends meet. And I mean, Studio Mappa did just a phenomenal job. I mean, this animation, the shading, the use of, just darkness, and it was a masterclass. And while the dialogue, you didn't get a ton of it, and it will become more important as the series goes on, it was there. And you get a perfect understanding of who Denji is, you get a perfect understanding of, what these characters do and who they are, and it's really, really, I know I'm rambling. I'm coming off of that high of what Chainsaw Man did. But I'm trying to be as spoiler free as possible because, again, it did just come out. I do encourage people to watch it. Don't pursue the manga unless obviously you want to be spoiled, because it is a very faithful adaptation. It did trim the fat, it did add in some additional scenes, but overall it is a very great translation of Fujimoto's work. And I would say this, if you are tentative on the series, and I have seen some people saying, oh, it wasn't that good, or it's fine, I think the best way to compare Fujimoto's work to something more Western would be, Fujimoto is very obviously a cinephile. They are a huge lover of film. And, I mean, this is shown in Fire Punch, this is shown in Goodnight Eri, and this is especially shown in Chainsaw Man. And so when we're given Chainsaw Man, I mean, even the intro is just chock full of cinematic, references and angles and shots. And you could tell he was involved in the anime. You can tell that he was giving a sign-off on, all these elements. He's basically a Western Quentin Tarantino. That's the best way, or he's basically an anime Quentin Tarantino. That's the best way I can put that. He is a lover of film, he is a lover of using dialogue, and, he has no problem inserting a joke, not in like a Marvel way where they'll cut a dramatic moment with a joke, but just like the jokes will roll offhand. Like, even as Denji is in his lowest moment, he's just like, man, I wish I could have slept with a woman once before I died. And you have this charm to Denji. He's down on his luck. He's doing his best to make ends meet. People take advantage of how desperate he is, but he has Puchita. He has his little buddy, and he's doing his best. He is fighting his hardest. It is I've been recording other videos, I've been putting together other ideas, and I've been watching other things that have been coming out this season, and it's a jam-packed season of quality. I mean, you've got Bleach, you've got Blue Lock, you've got this, you've got Mob Psycho, you've got options. But I mean, this isn't an anime of the year. This is an anime of the last 5 years. This is something that has been created with passion. This is something that has been created with an absolute just, I mean, gorgeous. I cannot emphasize enough that Mappa I know Mappa has a busy schedule, and I know they have pulled out a ton of great members, but I mean, the director also directed Jujutsu Kaisen, and it shows. Their use of, darkness, again, and the use of shadow is brilliant. Everything has this very dusk evening color to it. It's very melancholic and almost dour in moments. It's not supposed to be uplifting. It's not supposed to be positive. And this almost grain-like film shot, right? Like, as you're watching the episode, you can see how it would translate if you were to do it in live action, what it would look like, right? And it's brilliant. It is just, oh my, I'm sorry. I know I'm rambling. I know I'm circling around. I am just coming off of the high of just watching this series, and it's everything I wanted in a way that I didn't know I wanted it. And the best way I can, I seriously looked at it and I was like, how does this stand up to the hype? How does this the hype before this series came out was astronomical. It was something that we don't see. Jujutsu Kaisen did incredibly well. And Jujutsu Kaisen, I'm not going to say it was like a sleeper hit, but there was no build up to it, right? This is the first major series that has come out since this, 2020 anime renaissance that we had. Remember, Demon Slayer Mugen Train was the highest grossing movie of 2020. Not highest grossing anime movie, not highest grossing movie in Japan, highest grossing movie of all. It beat Marvel movies of the year, it beat everything because it came out in 2020, and I don't need to tell you what happened in 2020. But during that time, obviously, with lockdown and everything, people were locked in, and we saw a boom in people checking out anime. And that's why you saw Demon Slayer have a resurgence in popularity, even though, UFO Table did a fantastic job. But you also saw, people taking an interest in something that they otherwise wouldn't have. And now, you have One Piece in Times Square. You have, all these anime projects taking off in popularity. But Chainsawman, right from the get-go, you had people gushing about how great the manga is. You can go on YouTube and check out much better videos than mine about how great the manga is, how great this new anime is. But this was the first one after that 2020 period that truly got hyped up. Like My Hero, when it first came out back in 2015 or so, it wasn't hyped up like this. There was just no hype behind it because people just weren't really talking about manga and into anime adaptations like that back then. Now we're in this surge of popularity where Chainsaw Man is sort of the poster child of manga hype into anime hype. It's not even a long series. It's only I think 104 chapters right now, which it's also the best anti-bullying PSA I've ever read, which that's a recent chapter comment, but definitely check out the manga. Fujimoto does some chef's kiss work. Just absolute, I know you can't see my face, but it's just, mwah, 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 mwah. It is a piece de perfection. And yeah, no, the animation is just, it's breathtaking. But how does it live up to that astronomical, that stratospheric hype? It just does the story. It just does what it set out to do. And it delivers. It delivers so strongly on all the elements. Voice acting, perfect. Soundtrack, phenomenal. And the soundtrack was all handpicked by Fujimoto, meaning I believe, I don't know if it's the intro or the outro, but every episode has a different either intro or outro song. I think it's the outro, but don't hold me to that. And so, the first episode, obviously there wasn't a ton there for the outro because you gotta introduce Denji, right? You gotta get through all of his story, everything going on with him. You gotta get to, the zombie devil and everything. And again, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but yeah, you have a lot you have to go through in a 23-minute runtime. And then, people look at Chainsaw Man and they go, oh, so it's a horror series, or oh, it's a dark, gritty thriller. And I'm like, kinda. But it also opens with him killing the tomato devil. And you're like, wait, why is he killing a tomato? Who's afraid of tomatoes? Who fears tomatoes? Not I. I fear no tomato. I fear no fruit. Except maybe durian. I do fear durians. But, like that's the premise, is he fights devils for money and then trades the bodies with the Yakuza, and that's it. That's everything you need to know. And just the way that is handled, the way these characters are introduced, and I mean, it's just, I am so happy. I weep for this season of anime. I am so happy that this is the first season for so many new coming anime fans to be coming in. I mean, I'm going to be talking about other things on Anecdotes. I've got like 6 episodes I'm recording today alone, just going over anime that are coming out this season. But, there are so many options. There are so many fantastic, beautiful, brilliant series. And this is going to be leading the pack. I watched 1,000 Year Blood War, and I am going to make a video giving my thoughts on that. But I mean, even without my rose-colored nostalgia glasses, 1,000 Year Blood War is a phenomenal series. That's your quick spoiler into what I'm going to be talking about. But this is something magical. This is something that even if people aren't into anime, you can show them Chainsawman, and they'll be invested in what this art form can produce. They'll be invested in what can be coming around the corner. I mean, Chainsawman is art. Chainsawman is... You always have this argument of what makes anime an art form. What makes anime more than the sum of its parts. And Chainsawman is not only a faithful adaptation of a very well-done manga, but it has taken its identity as a hit anime, and it has run with it. It knows all the right angles to work, it knows what it's trying to do, and it is phenomenal. Do not sleep on Chainsaw Man. If you want to wait until the whole series is out and then binge it, by all means. But you are going to see people talking about this series week after week. And sure, we didn't get power in the first episode. I don't think anyone was expecting to get power in the first episode. I know there's plenty of people that go power is bae or Makima is bae, and we did get Makima at the end of the episode. And it's very much a faithful translation of the first chapter of the series. But I will be very, very interested to see where it goes from here. Make sure to check it out. It is on Crunchyroll. Please support the official release when you can. I know an English dub is currently in development, and it has a ton of talented people attached to the project. So again, check it out. It is worth it. But let me know in the comments below what you thought about Chainsaw Man. Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Are you thinking I'm completely full of it for what I'm saying? Let me know. I yearn to learn. But it was good. I really like Chainsaw Man. I'm gonna have to watch it like 4 or 5 times, in all honesty. I don't do that with anime, but man, that's a good anime. But that's gonna do it for us here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Check out our Discord link down below. We also do streaming on Twitch and all kinds of content like that. And we will be back with another anime anecdote soon, I promise. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and have a wonderful day.